Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the campus of Tabor College in Hillsborough, Kansas for tonight's KCAC matchup. The Blue Jays welcome their guests, the Bethel College Threshers, for a great night of college basketball. My name is Adam Suderman, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Dan Page, my Bethel College counterpart, for tonight's broadcast on the Tabor College Blue Jay Network. Bethel enters tonight's contest with an 11-13 overall record, 8-10 in conference. Tabor is 10-14 overall and a 7-11 record in conference. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll have the anthem, pregame prayer, and starting lineups.
Hillsborough Ford is your local, family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsborough Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsborough and online at hillsboroughfordks.net. Hillsborough Ford, where service makes the difference. Infinity Fitness is open 24/7 for all of your fitness needs on your schedule. Whether you're looking to improve on basic health knowledge or are looking to powerlift or bodybuild, start with Infinity Fitness. We've got the facilities, trainers, and equipment to help you meet your goals. Join the Infinity Fitness family today. Call us at 620-877-0220. Infinity Fitness is located at 115 North Main Street in Hillsborough and online at infinityfitnessks.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Hillsborough. For those who might just be joining us, my name is Adam Suderman, and tonight I am joined by Dan Page, a familiar voice to the Thresher fans that are joining tonight's broadcast. For those who caught the first matchup between these two programs, Dan and I shared the call from North Newton. So we'll run through the starting lineups here and then give some pregame analysis. Starting for Bethel. We've got number 4 guard Carmelo Yakubu, number 5 guard Keon Hoskin, number 15 guard Nick Bonner, number 23 forward Jalen Todd, number 33 guard Harper Jonas. So again, for the Threshers, that's Yakubu, Hoskin, Bonner, Todd, and Jonas. And for the Blue Jays, we've got number 0 junior guard Caleb Crane, number 2 guard Jack Voth, a freshman, number 10 Thatcher McClure, a sophomore forward, number 11 Cade Hemmert, a senior guard, and number 15, Kenyon Holcomb, a junior forward. So again, for the Blue Jays, that's Crane, Vogt, McClure, Hemmert, and Holcomb. If you maybe didn't catch the name, Jake Proctor in that lineup, he is out due to injury. So Dan and I talked a little bit before we went live tonight. This is a big game in the KCAC for playoff implications. With Bethel now sitting in 8th, Tabor in 9th, the top 8 teams go to the postseason conference tournament. So, Dan, you can't beat two league rivals meeting for a game that could have serious playoff implications.
Well, yeah, and the regular season is winding down. You've got, Wednesday, Saturday, and that's it. You have 4 games to decide what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be at home in a couple weeks, or maybe fighting your way to the Hartman Arena?
Yeah, it's these two programs have been were certainly evenly matched in the first matchup this year, with Bethel taking a 8-point victory, 81-73 in North Newton.
Yeah, one thing about that game that caught my eye is Bethel had 50 of their 81 in the paint, which, till that point was kind of uncharacteristic of them, because typically when teams scout Bethel, they see a lot of guys that want to shoot threes, like 20-plus threes attempted a game. I mean, their coach has the school record for most threes attempted in a game, it went back when he was a player. But, yeah, I mean, they really put it to it. One thing of note from last matchup to this one, Nick Bonner didn't play in that one, and right now he's one of the hottest players in the conference.
Yeah, Nick Bonner, the senior guard from Derby, has jumped all the way to he's the number 2 3-point shooter in the conference, shooting nearly 50% from 3-point range in conference play. So Blue Jays win the opening tip, and Caleb Crane, the junior from Simsboro, Louisiana, will set the Tabor offense. So again, Tabor without the services of Jake Proctor, who suffered an injury here a few weeks back, so that inserts Cade Hemmert into the starting lineup. So while certainly doesn't hurt in terms of experience, as Cade is a longtime member of this program. So Thatcher McClure with the corner 3, and there's Hemmert chasing down the rebound, but is unable to stay in play.
One thing that Tabor could probably look at for Bethel's season and say, hey, we could actually do something there, is try to out-rebound the Threshers. Most games this year, Bethel's been out-rebounded in games. The ones that they have out-rebounded their opponents, they typically won. So, I mean, that's what you want to go, and they almost got a second chance there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Bethel, this is a big game, because not only for the reasons we stated before, but Bethel's coming in on 3 straight losses, so they're looking to get back in the win column. So the Harper Jonas shot is off, and Hemmert drives into the aforementioned Harper Jonas, a guard out of Andover, Kansas. So there's Bonner guarding Caleb Crane, who takes it to the rim. Shot rims out around a few times, but goes down as the junior guard gets the Blue Jays on the board here early, 2-0.
Almost impossible to replicate that one in the driveway.
There's Jalen Todd with the right hook over Kenyon Holcomb. That's one of the matchups I actually really had circled going into tonight. Yeah, two physical post players who I think will be in for a dogfight here over the next 38 minutes. So Nick Bonner with the steal, thinks about the 3, instead finds Yakubu, who drives to give Bethel a 4-2 lead.
You're talking about big guys. Last time, Jalen Todd, 14 points against Holcomb in the first meeting.
Holcomb really began to assert himself in conference play, second in the conference in blocks, and still, I believe to this day, has held Oklahoma Wesleyan phenom Jaden Litsky to his lowest scoring effort of the season when they were here in Hillsboro. So we will see what that matchup has for us tonight. Hoskin goes into Holcomb with the block, but is able to grab the loose ball and scores. So it makes it 6-2 Bethel here after Tabor was able to score first in a quick 6-0 Bethel run. Tabor, this is year 2 under Coach Matt Warren. When you look at it, this program did struggle last year as they were playing virtually an entirely new lineup. This year also bringing in a larger group of young players, but also as we've been saying, right in the playoff conversation. So Coach Matt Warren a little frustrated here as Bethel jumps out to an 8-2 lead. We will take a full timeout and be back with you here in just a minute.
Hillsboro's TCW team is proud to work for you. Our local service and support teams bring the best for fast and reliable TCW internet right here in Hillsboro. Working closely with residents and business owners, we help find the best solutions for all your needs. You simply can't beat our local customer service, always ensuring a connection to work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted.
We are back here from Hillsboro after the Tabor timeout. 8-2 Bethel as Coach Warren tries to reset Tabor's offense here as the Threshers have responded in a big way after Tabor got tonight's first basket.
So far, Bethel maximizing when they have the basketball. Tabor trying to do the same, but Bethel's been clogging up the paint.
Crane. That's not something I necessarily saw coming. Crane, not one of Tabor's best three-point shooters at under 20% for the season, but there it looked right there, and he's able to cut into this Bethel lead. So Nick Bonner responds, though, quickly to push Bethel's lead back to 5.
Yeah, I mean, typically, yes, you score points, but like we saw in the women's game earlier, you got to play defense at the same time, in those type of games. You're talking about McClure. Last time he hit 2 threes against Bethel, so he's saving it for the Threshers.
Well, if Caleb Crane does find his rhythm from three-point range, it would be a welcome sight, especially in the absence of Jake Proctor. So Bethel already 5 of 7 to start this game, shooting 71% from the field. And there you have it, is Jack Both, who he connects from deep, so back-to-back threes here for the Blue Jays to cut it to a 2-point Thresher lead. So Jonas also looking to strike from deep, and his three bounces off. Rebound to Kenyon Holcomb. Crane, in typical fashion, takes it to the rim, and I would think we're going to get a foul here on Nick Bonner.
He just really showed his speed there. Once you got that ball, just broke down the floor off the dribble, which it's hard to be fast off the dribble.
Dan, you've called a few more games than I have this year. In terms of just ability to get to the rim, where do you feel like Caleb Crane ranks among conference point guards?
Point guard wise, I mean, he's got to be up there as far as his ability. He has 7 of the 10 points for Tabor so far, and we're tied up.
That we are. So the timeout seems to have worked in Tabor's favor here as they have responded, trailing by 6 to none, not this game at 10 apiece with 15:43 remaining here in the first half.
And that's what Tabor wants to do in this game. They want to stick with Bethel. They can't have any lapses like they did in the second half last go-around.
Yeah, it was a rough final 10 minutes for the Blue Jays in that loss in North Newton. Jared Richardson with the nice move on the baseline to give Bethel the lead. Dan, could you inform us a little bit about these Bethel guards? You mentioned already Miguel Vitova being somebody who stepped in, played some big minutes. Tell us a little bit about the guard.
Well, I mean, they're really guard heavy at times. You look at this lineup, and if they sub out like Jalen Todd, for instance, which does happen every now and then, they'll go a little small. They got some shooters. Really, Carmelo and Keon are guys that like to drive it, but really everybody's been trying to drive it lately, and you never know who's going to catch fire on the perimeter.
I think we're going to get Crane here on the push after Holcomb tied the game at 12 on the other end of the floor. So Crane's first, and Jalen Todd will take a seat here as Cade Cottrell sees his first action of tonight's game.
And Kittrell, he's got a nice big body to him. there's only been a couple matchups in the conference where people have been able to match him pound for pound.
And Richardson asserting himself here off the bench with 2 back-to-back baskets for the Threshers.
Yeah, and that was the question coming into this year for Jared Richardson is just, how much can he up his game? But he's had a great effort this year.
An impressive offensive rebound from Crane. I think we're going to get a foul here on Carmelo Yakubu for the push, and I believe that will be his first.
Fouls on Bethel's number 4, Carmelo Yakubu. That's his first. Team second.
Apologize if there were any technical difficulties there here briefly, trying to get our mics worked out. Miguel Vitova called for his first as Bethel's, that'll be their 3rd team foul.
Yeah, Bethel's coming off a game where, they played Southwestern last Saturday, and Southwestern shot 40 free throws against the Threshers. So it was kind of a big disparity there. Not necessarily Bethel's fouling a lot in that game. It's just,
one of those nights.
Yeah.
That's his first.
So Jared Richardson called for his first. That was Bethel's 4th team foul. Well, in Bethel, this is, I guess you can call it a transition year when you lose some pretty important seniors off of last year's team, but still quite a bit of scoring punch still, even within the absence of Bryant Maccabee and Clifford Bird III. So,
yeah, this year is all about a test of chemistry with things. You have a group of seniors that have played together, really haven't had to step up in that role, and now they tried to find that. Meanwhile, you have guys like Keon Hoskin, new to the team, and Carmelo Yakubu is definitely capable to be a leader in this team. But everybody's just got to figure out, who's going to step up in that situation, but also, don't fight over being who's the guy.
For sure, and Harper Jonas got to give him kudos there on the defensive end for standing body to body with Jack Voth, keeping Voth with both shot attempts, keeping him off the board. So that is another one of those matchups. Whether it's Jonas on Jack Voth or Thatcher McClure, I think you're going to see a lot of physicality between those, whoever they might be guarding at the time. McClure tries to drive to the rim into Jonas, and he also misses, and Richardson looking to score in transition, and we're going to get a foul here on Cade Hemmert.
And one thing we've seen over the course of this season is Bethel defensively, they really preach help defense, and obviously you have to at this level, but you saw 3 different guys, one guarding the basketball and 2 float to the basketball. Last time Tabor tried to drive inside, and actually it was Cade Kittrell from behind that got the shot deflected away.
Richardson hits the first free throw to give Bethel a 3-point lead. Nick Bonner checks back in, giving Harper Jonas a rest, and there is freshman Jaden Miller getting his first action, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, as Cade Hemmert takes a seat. Dan, a very young Tabor lineup. We talked about it at length in the first matchup. And there's some youth, too, for the Threshers as Cade Kittrell is able to get the offensive rebound and score off the missed free throw. So 17-12 Bethel. Coach Ortaz is going to certainly like to see his freshman go body to body with Kenyon Holcomb there.
Yeah, they're still working on him as well, but when you get guys coming into their freshman year, you never know what they're going to come in as, but you know what you can mold them into being anywhere in the country when you manage a basketball program.
Holcomb with the 3, and it is short, and Bethel looks to push. Hoskin on the other end is off to the side of the rim, and Crane pushes the basketball for the Blue Jays. So Jaden Miller into Jared Richardson. It connects, and the foul. I believe that will be the second on Richardson, so my guess is he will take a seat here.
Fouls on the Threshers, number 10, Jared Richardson.
Yakubu back in for the Threshers as Richardson will take a seat. In for the Blue Jays, senior James Aboba and senior Cade Hemmert back after a brief rest. Jaden Miller at the line looking to complete the three-point play.
Got it.
Miller's role has steadily grown throughout this season. Someone who didn't see quite so many minutes there, especially going into about Thanksgiving, Christmas break, but it steadily increased as the backup point guard here for the Blue Jays. So a very young Tabor lineup. Didn't quite finish my thought earlier, and that Tabor is looking to find who can they just really lean on for that top 6, top 7, and Miller has definitely built his way into that rotation. Both into Kittrell and scores to tie this game at 17 apiece. 11:30 remaining here in the first half. So about what I would have guessed here, Dan, maybe a few brief scoring runs, but I would be shocked if this game goes much over, 6-7 points here.
Yeah, I mean, last time out it was just down and back, back and forth type of ball game. Both teams led by as much as 4 or 5, and just the slightest lapse like we saw is going to cost one team. Also, we saw some really good shooting. Both teams shot over 52% last time out. It's not the case right now in this game, but that could change.
Coach Warren will like that from his senior guard, who, while is certainly capable from the three-point line, is probably at his best when he is able to drive to the basket to give Tabor a 19-17 advantage. Thought we might see Jalen Todd back into Aboba, but instead kicks it back out. There's Yakubu into Aboba and scores.
Bethel now shooting 9 of 14 from the field, and Tabor 50%.
There's Hemmert again to the rim, but Bethel is able to, I don't know if they got a piece of that shot, but either way, it is Thresher basketball as they push. Todd to the rim and scores. Forgive me, Dan, is this Jalen Todd's first year at Bethel?
No, he's been there long-term, 4-year guy. Really, since his freshman season, he was off a bench kind of post for the Threshers, coming in for guys like Adam Goro and the like back then, and really just the last couple seasons he's had to step up into that 5 spot. We've seen him shoot on the perimeter a little bit more this year, but he's one of those vocal leaders on this team that really wants to get the guys going, and he's not afraid to do that. And everybody, they talk about accountability on the team, and we had a game a week ago at St. Mary where it was a disastrous second half. It was a typical first half type of basketball game, looking to improve, and come out in the first, 11 minutes only score like 2 or 3 points. It was rough, and you just can't do that at this level.
No question. And Aboba to the line, and he hits both to tie this game at 21-21. So Aboba, as you talked about it, Dan, able to grab the offensive rebound and get to the line. So see if Tabor can perhaps exploit Bethel on the glass. So there is Aboba with the defensive board as Jaden Miller looks to set the Tabor offense.
So far, Bethel's got 11 and Tabor's got 6 on the boards, or 7 on the boards now. So we'll see. Tabor, maybe that's the one area where the Blue Jays can improve the most.
Jaden Miller looks to score it, and then Nick Bonner tips it to his teammate, and Hoskin will set the Bethel offense. Tabor not traditionally, or not this year, they have not been one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the conference, but thus far doing a good job on the glass. So Jalen Todd there looking to get his hand there as Jack Voth corrals the board. And I'm thinking we're going to get Voth to the rim. That we do, and it will be a pair of free throws. So
yeah, when you're a head coach in that situation and you see your number 5 post, all the way down there guarding the guy bringing it up, you're just like, oh, this can't be good.
And that is his second foul. So we're going to get a timeout here, a 30-second timeout. We will take a quick break and be right back with you.
later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsboro and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problem.
Back is Jack Voth, the freshman guard from Wilmington, North Carolina, will step to the line for 2 free throws. We've said it all season, but if that name sounds familiar and North Carolina does not, that would be because Jack Voth, while he played his senior year of basketball out on the East Coast, everything prior to that came as a Bueller Crusader. Voth hits from the free throw line as Tabor reclaims the lead here.
And this game, no lead is...
Thatcher McClure, Tabor tied as Tabor's leading scorer, 0 for 3 to start tonight's game. And 0 for 3 to start tonight's game. And the only Blue Jay who has yet to score. So I guess you could look at that as a positive if you want. I mean, looking at it, that Tabor is only down 2 with 0 points from McClure. We'll see if that can change. I think they're going to get Jacobu and a foul on Holcomb.
And the basket, so it appears.
Fouls on the Blue Jays, number 15, Kenyon Holcomb.
I think both coaches are trying to maybe understand the whistle here tonight.
They get new crews, every week. It's a mesh. There's not an exact crew that you get every single time, which is fine. You play some teams like Kansas Wesleyan, Southwestern. It seems like those games are called a lot more tighter than some others. I think this one's been all right.
Yeah. No, I think some possessions maybe letting a little more physicality go there. They hit Holcomb, and Bethel has pushed its lead to 5 on a quick 7-0 run of its own after Tabor had jumped back ahead there previously. So Creelan Avery getting his first action of tonight's game as Cade Hemmert takes a seat.
We've seen a lot of the Blue Jays in the half court, not really getting out in space, but how about a deep 3 here?
Yeah, I think he might have been in McPherson when he put that shot up.
But yeah, outside of Crane and Voth, Tabor needs another guy there to, get him going.
Thatcher McClure did have a brief, I think he only ended up missing 1 game with a brief knee injury, but was able to come back from that and drop 30 and 10 in his first game back from that. So see if Tabor can get its offense going through its leading scorer.
Yeah, Bethel's getting to a point right now, like as Bonner picks up his second foul, that when this foul disparity is 8-3, to some effect that you're not doing what you're supposed to do defensively, because Tabor is planning. They're kind of banking on Bethel fouling now when they get in the ball inside.
And I've been watching Coach Warren, and he has certainly been imploring his guys to get to the rim if at all possible, understanding that Bethel will certainly give Tabor as many 3-point attempts at once, but Tabor much more efficient and not one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the conference. And so its offense certainly comes from the inside out.
Despite that, Bethel has yet to make a 3 in this game, interesting enough.
So I think that's 2 Bethel starters with 2 fouls, being Todd and Bonner, then also Richardson. So 3 Threshers now with 2 fouls.
Fouls on Tabor is number 3, Creelan Avery.
Creelan Avery picks up his first as Jalen Richardson steps to the line for a pair of free throws.
it's always interesting when you get on the bus and Jalen and Jared have the same hairdo. And it's like, oh no, I have to figure out who's who on this. But at least when I call games for them, the number helps.
Well, I was about to say the only thing that helped me there is knowing Jared's got 2 fouls, so I was not expecting to see him on the floor. So he does not hit either free throw. And Hoskin tips the ball out of those hands, but it will remain Tabor basketball.
And that's the thing about Hoskin. He likes to get into the passing lane, likes to get into guys' dribbles, and really create the fast break game. We've seen that quite a bit from him this season. And, this is his 3rd school he's been to, York, Texas Wesleyan, and now Bethel. And I think, from what I've gathered, being around him a little bit, he seems to like it here. But it'd be interesting to see. I'm not exactly certain on his eligibility in that regard. But with the COVID year that, a lot of these 4th-year players have the option to come back, it'd be interesting to see because it's kind of been a changing of guard in the conference as Miguel Vitova drills a 3-point shot.
I think Bethel's first of the games.
But you have guys like Kevin Clark at Southwestern that played 5 years, well, not 5 years, but 5 years in college. He went to Cali first, but getting that extra year to play at Southwestern is just causing havoc.
Well, Dan, you look at this box score, and you certainly think that this game is a big, more of a Bethel lead when you look at almost 70% shooting, a 15-9 advantage on the boards, including 13 defensive rebounds, but still, yet Tabor is only down by 4. And
Jalen Richardson with the 3 there, so that is only the second Bethel 3 of the game so far.
Back-to-back possessions, and got fooled by our PA announcer who said Jared Richardson on the 3. So
it's all details.
Crane with the step back, also one of his better shots, but unable to connect. So Bethel looking to take what I think would be its biggest lead. I think they've led by 8, but up here by 7. Hoskin looking to get Votova to move. I don't think that's what he had in mind.
Out of bounds, Blue Jays ball.
Yeah, that was crucial defensively for Tabor because you give a basket there and give Bethel a lot of confidence because most of their guys in the game coming off the bench. And right now, Harper Gonis back in, Carmelo Yakubu in, and now Eli Wiseman in for the Threshers.
Yeah, when you have Bonner and Todd sitting on the bench with 2 fouls apiece and you're still up by 7, I'm sure Coach Ortaz is plenty pleased with that. Voth goes into Carmelo Yakubu and is able to score.
And that's what they need.
So Eli Wiseman with a bit of a height disadvantage, driving on Thatcher McClure, but is able to get the ball loose. I think for a second we were going to get a foul call there, but I got deked. It is a Bethel travel. It'll be Tabor basketball.
I think I said this the first go round. I've seen more travels due to slick lanes on basketball courts in this conference this year than ever. I'm sure it happens year in and year out, but it's crazy because you're thinking as a player, it's like, why am I dealing with this?
Maybe a few too many French fries hitting the gym floor between games. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Coach Ortez said it's not a strange thing to see some of his guys with a pool of sweat on the floor right next to them.
Jack Voth has found I don't have that exact number in front of me, but I would venture to guess almost all of his points now have come in the paint. And there's another 3 from Miguel Vitova.
As Vitova hits his second 3, Jack Voth 5 makes from the field and 2 from the foul line. He had 1 3. That was his first shot make of the game.
Leading all scorers with 13 points. It slipped past me, Dan, but I'm looking at the box score, and Yakubu's a perfect 5 for 5 from the field with 11 points.
I mean, a lot of it's just layups. that's kind of his game. Of course, he has one free throw to that tally as well. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists against Tabor the first outing.
That three was halfway down, out, but Thatcher McClure is able to grab the rebound and slam it home. Thatcher McClure with a good defensive play, but his foot goes out of bounds, and it will remain Bethel basketball.
One thing I've watched with Bethel this year, when they give that high screen, whether it's Kittrell or Kennedy Duru, who just came in this year, they've been called for a moving screen on that several times this year, and I know it's something they practice and getting better at. But if you're an opponent, you want to see if you can stretch that some way, manipulate that to where that's what the official sees.
Well, and I think the thing I noticed there, Kittrell did not seal McClure off on his way to the rim, almost leading to the turnover, so I'm sure that might be mentioned as he takes a seat.
Well, we've seen people, seal off, but you just can't move.
Yeah. How many games has Duru played now?
He came in second semester now, since second week of January. He's been a good change of pace. He has some length to him. It's good to get some minutes from him,
especially some experienced length as well.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, as a coach, you like what you see. He can score it down low if needed. But any size you can get at this level, you'll take.
Something to watch is Coach Warren has left Kenyon Holcomb on the floor after picking up his second foul. Probably not ideal to have Holcomb bring up the ball up the court, and Jalen Richardson tips it loose, and it's Bethel basketball. So Wiseman going into McClure, unable to hit the floater, and it's Tabor basketball once again.
Definitely see some fatigue in both of these teams right now.
And there's the fresh legs of Duru coming in saying, not today.
That's just what I was talking about. Defensively, you want a guy like that on your team.
Because was he stand about 6'7"? That is a long 6'7".
There's a lot of guys with great wingspans in this conference.
Oh, no question. So McClure almost lost the ball out of bounds, but is able to find Hemmert. Not the pass you probably want to see on the double team on the baseline, and Bethel now takes over, and Vitova will find Duru for the alley-oop, but he is unable to score. I don't know, that pass might have been just slightly off.
And a lot of times, with defense right there, it's hard to get an image at it in your eyes, with that coordination.
McClure driving in on Wiseman, I think, might get the foul on Duru, however.
Fouls on Bethel's number 14, McKinnon Duru.
That is his first.
That's his first. Team's ninth. Thatcher McClure.
I mean, it's not, if you're Tabor right now, you can live with the circumstances. I mean, it's not exactly terrible. You're being competitive. You're staying in the game. You're not shooting terribly.
No, I think you're just seeing Bethel still, when it's able to run its offense, getting high percentage looks, leading to its 61.5% shooting here over the first, just over the first 18 minutes. McClure makes the second, cutting Bethel's lead to 3. And Tabor has also evened out the rebounding advantage, now almost even at 16-14 Bethel, which was once 14-6 perhaps, if I remember right. Yakubu thought about the 18-footer, but instead kicks it back out to Keon Hoskin. Jumper from the free throw line is good.
Yeah, when he doesn't force that, most of the time when it looks like he forces that because of how good the defense is, but you give him a chance to put that touch on, he's going to knock that down. And a much better look as he passes on the three and gets to the line. So Jaden Miller with an impressive basket here to bring it back to 3, back and forth. I think we've had about a 5-3, 5-3 here, several possessions in a row. So like I was saying, doesn't seem like we're going to see
this game get over 2 possessions too many times.
It's just a repeat of last time out. I mean, it was just a tight game, and just how things match up. And now that was probably ill-advised.
Yes. No, James Aboba much better off the dribble. His 3 is off, and I think we're going to get a foul or a jump ball. Can't quite tell yet. Nope, they're going to hit him with the foul.
Fouls on Tabor's number 2, Jack Volk.
And in that kind of circumstance, I think from the officials' point of view, looking at safety side of it,
so that is Voth's first, but Hoskin will step to the line for a pair of free throws.
Shooting 2.
Keon's last few games just shot the ball quite a bit better than he was. Bethel hosted York earlier this season, and they had a perfect game plan for their former teammate, is to let him shoot, and he was 0 for 8 in the first half against the Panthers. And of course Bethel dropped that game by a small margin. They go to York on Saturday looking for, to get them the second time around.
Well, and Hoskin has litters the top 10 in 3 different categories. Can't talk tonight. Categories when defensive rebounds, steals, and assists. So an all-around player for the Threshers. So Jack Voth thought he might have drawn the foul, and I think Bethel will be able to hold for the last shot here.
They're going to look for a 3, or they'll look for a drive and lob, but they'll go with the Keon Hoskins shot here.
The Hoskin 3 is off. Miller looked good from afar, but we will head to the break here with a 40-36 Bethel lead. So we'll take about a 10-12 minute break and be back with first half stats.
Your local family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsboro Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsboro and online at hillsborofordks.net. Hillsboro Ford, where service makes the difference. Infinity Fitness is open 24/7 for all of your fitness needs on your schedule. Whether you're looking to improve on basic health knowledge or are looking to powerlift or bodybuild, start with Infinity Fitness. We've got the facilities, trainers, and equipment to help you meet your goals. Join the Infinity Fitness family today. Call us at 620-877-0220. Infinity Fitness is located at 115 North Main Street in Hillsboro and online at infinityfitnessks.com. Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Hillsboro's TCW team is proud to work for you. Our local service and support teams bring the best for fast and reliable TCW internet right here in Hillsboro. Working closely with residents and business owners, we help find the best solutions for all your needs. You simply can't beat our local customer service, always ensuring a connection to work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted.
Many of you know that the Eitzen Agency insures churches, Christian schools, and other related ministries. A coverage that is overlooked for most businesses is proper cyber liability. Has your business ever been hacked? Do your employees click on links that they shouldn't? Your business could be shut down and have extreme costs if this happens. Cyber liability can reduce these costs. Give us a call at the Eitzen Agency to discuss this valuable coverage for your business at 580-227-2553 or find us online at eitzenagency.com.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsboro and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Don't let flashy ads and short-term specials with fine print entice you into hidden charges and slower speeds for your broadband. Work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted. TCW is the only provider that offers Hillsboro the reliability of an underground fiber connection to your home or business. Switch today to experience the best with TCW Fiber Internet.
Hillsboro Ford is your local, family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsboro Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsboro and online at hillsborofordks.net. Hillsboro Ford, where service makes the difference. Infinity Fitness is open 24/7 for all of your fitness needs on your schedule. Whether you're looking to improve on basic health knowledge or are looking to powerlift or bodybuild, start with Infinity Fitness. We've got the facilities, trainers, and equipment to help you meet your goals. Join the Infinity Fitness family today. Call us at 620-877-0220. Infinity Fitness is located at 115 North Main Street in Hillsboro and online at infinityfitnessks.com. Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Hillsboro's TCW team is proud to work for you. Our local service and support teams bring the best for fast and reliable TCW internet right here in Hillsboro. Working closely with residents and business owners, we help find the best solutions for all your needs. You simply can't beat our local customer service, always ensuring a connection to work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted.
Many of you know that the Eitzen Agency insures churches, Christian schools, and other related ministries. A coverage that is overlooked for most businesses is proper cyber liability. Has your business ever been hacked? Do your employees click on links that they shouldn't? Your business could be shut down and have extreme costs if this happens. Cyber liability can reduce these costs. Give us a call at the Eitzen Agency to discuss this valuable coverage for your business at 580-227-2553 or find us online at eitzenagency.com.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsboro and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Don't let flashy ads and short-term specials with fine print entice you into hidden charges and slower speeds for your broadband. Work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted. TCW is the only provider that offers Hillsboro the reliability of an underground fiber connection to your home or business. Switch today to experience the best with TCW Fiber Internet.
Hillsboro Ford is your local, family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsboro Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsboro and online at hillsborofordks.net. Hillsboro Ford, where service makes the difference. Infinity Fitness is open 24/7 for all of your fitness needs on your schedule. Whether you're looking to improve on basic health knowledge or are looking to powerlift or bodybuild, start with Infinity Fitness. We've got the facilities, trainers, and equipment to help you meet your goals. Join the Infinity Fitness family today. Call us at 620-877-0220. Infinity Fitness is located at 115 North Main Street in Hillsboro and online at infinityfitnessks.com.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Hillsboro's TCW team is proud to work for you. Our local service and support teams bring the best for fast and reliable TCW internet right here in Hillsboro. Working closely with residents and business owners, we help find the best solutions for all your needs. You simply can't beat our local customer service, always ensuring a connection to work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted.
Many of you know that the Eitzen Agency insures churches, Christian schools, and other related ministries. A coverage that is overlooked for most businesses is proper cyber liability. Has your business ever been hacked? Do your employees click on links that they shouldn't? Your business could be shut down and have extreme costs if this happens. Cyber liability can reduce these costs. Give us a call at the Eitzen Agency to discuss this valuable coverage for your business at 580-227-2553 or find us online at eitzenagency.com.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsboro and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Don't let flashy ads and short-term specials with fine print entice you into hidden charges and slower speeds for your broadband. Work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted. TCW is the only provider that offers Hillsboro the reliability of an underground fiber connection to your home or business. Switch today to experience the best with TCW Fiber Internet.
Hillsboro Ford is your local, family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsboro Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsboro and online at hillsborofordks.net. Hillsboro Ford, where service makes the difference. Infinity Fitness is open 24/7 for all of your fitness needs on your schedule. Whether you're looking to improve on basic health knowledge or are looking to powerlift or bodybuild, start with Infinity Fitness. We've got the facilities, trainers, and equipment to help you meet your goals. Join the Infinity Fitness family today. Call us at 620-877-0220. Infinity Fitness is located at 115 North Main Street in Hillsboro and online at infinityfitnessks.com.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Hillsboro's TCW team is proud to work for you. Our local service and support teams bring the best for fast and reliable TCW internet right here in Hillsboro. Working closely with residents and business owners, we help find the best solutions for all your needs. You simply can't beat our local customer service, always ensuring a connection to work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted.
Welcome back to Tabor College for the second half of tonight's game between Tabor and Bethel, a game that has major KCAC implications as Bethel currently sits in 8th and Tabor in 9th in the conference standings, and only the top 8 teams move on to the conference tournament. So we will run through stats here, starting with the visiting Threshers. Carmelo Yacobu with a team-high 11 points on 5 of 5 shooting. Keon Hoskin with 7, Miguel Vitova with 6, Jared Richardson with 5, Jalen Todd with 4, Jalen Richardson with 3, Kate Kittrell with 2, and Nick Bonner with 2. So again, for the Threshers, that's Yacobu with 11, Hoskin with 7, Vitova with 6, Jared Richardson with 5, Jalen Richardson with 3, Kate Kittrell with 2, and Nick Bonner with 2. For the Blue Jays, Jack Voth driving force of Tabor's offense through the first half with 13 points, a team and game high. Caleb Crane with 9, Jaden Miller with 5, and James Aboba, Kenyon Holcomb, Cade Hemmert with 2 apiece. Forgive me, I neglected to mention Thatcher McClure with 3. So for the Blue Jays, that's Voth with 13, Crane with 9, Miller with 5, McClure with 3, and Hemmert, Holcomb, and Aboba with 2. A quick mention here before we get going, Bethel shooting nearly 59% from the field, Tabor just at 40%. So I think all things considered, Tabor is plenty pleased to only be down by 4 here as the second half begins. Dan, what do you think, especially when you look back at this first matchup where Bethel maybe used its experience to pull away in the second half? Maybe we'll see if that comes true once again, or if Tabor maybe is able to play a better second half.
They haven't really changed anything since the first time they played the Blue Jays. In that game, the first meeting, I mentioned they had 50 points in the paint, shot 57% from the floor for the game. So it's pretty much kind of the same deal here, outside of a couple, 3 3-point makes in the first half and a make right there. They're going to the hoop. They want those efficient scores.
And Yacobu now with 6 of 6 from the field, but as we mentioned in the first half, virtually every one of his shots have come just like that. So, and I look too, those 6 points from Miguel Vitova off the bench are awfully critical for the Threshers. Jack Voth, just his maturation here as a freshman has been so impressive. Now tied with Thatcher McClure, both averaging 15.2 points per game. For the Blue Jays, a corner 3 from Harper Jonas is short, and Cade Hemmert with the rebound. Tabor, I think, will certainly look to get Thatcher McClure more involved, as he was held to just 3 points in the first half, being really Tabor's most consistent player both last year as a freshman and through his sophomore campaign. Cade Hemmert thought about the 3, but instead will drive, kicking out to McClure in the corner, rimming out, and Yacobu with the rebound. Dan, I think I see you pulling some conference scores. Do you have an update for us?
Oh, kind of a surprise right now. St. Mary up 16 at home against Kansas Wesleyan, 50-34. That's 5 minutes into the second half. St. Mary, Bethel played there last week on Wednesday, and it's just a different place when you go up and play a team like that, and kind of a longer trip per se up in Leavenworth. But yeah, that really stuck out to me. 50-34 right now. St. Mary leading Kansas Wesleyan of all teams. I did not put that down because St. Mary is right ahead. They're at the 7th spot right now in the conference standings.
Well, since January 20th, their only loss is Oklahoma Wesleyan. So you put that out, what is that, 6 of 7? They're 6. St. Mary kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they definitely upped their play, and it's interesting to see because, there for a couple of years, they were kind of a weird team, and not in a bad way, but just coming off of COVID, really, they had to figure some things out. They were probably hit the hardest during those times with COVID.
And I believe that is Nick Bonner's first three, a welcome sight for the Threshers as he responds after Kenyon Holcomb hits a pair from the free throw line. So 8 has been Bethel's biggest lead. I think Tabor has only been able to push it out to a 2-point advantage. See if they can cut back into what Bethel has done here in the early part of the second half. McClure with the 3. Swish. A clean look for the Blue Jays sophomore from atop the key, cutting it back to a 4-point deficit.
I don't think it's a sense of urgency for Tabor, but it is a increased focus when they have to answer when Bethel goes up 7 or 8 in this game.
They certainly have done a good job keeping it out of double digits. See if they can bring it back even closer. So both to the rim, as he has done all through tonight's game. Looked good, but rims off, and Harper Jonas will push for the Bethel offense. Kean Hoskin thought about the 3. Instead, will find Nick Bonner atop the key, who has been lethal, and that is back-to-back threes for the senior from Derby.
And all it takes for Bethel in these games is you get a string of threes after you shot inside most of the game, and that makes it kind of an uphill battle for your opponent.
Absolutely. So McClure looks to answer again, rims out, and Bonner tips that ball to Yakubu as Bethel looks to score in transition. Bonner, heat check, is unable to score, but Harper Jonas grabs the rebound. So Yakubu steps into a 3 of his own. That is off. Ooh, a lot of contact in the paint.
There was a collision between Hemmert and Jonas. This game is getting a little physical, though. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think we kind of saw this coming, didn't we, in the second half of this one? Certainly were plenty of fouls called in the first half, but knowing knowing the implications, you knew that this was going to be a tense and physical final 20 minutes.
Well, and what's key in those kind of situations, as long as they don't let their emotions escalate and things like that, you can kind of anticipate things, and I think a lot of times it starts with your coaching staff just saying, hey, focus inward when that happens. Control what you can control. Don't worry about them.
Yeah. No, this is ties Bethel's biggest lead. We'll see if Hoskin can increase that. He cannot, but Jalen Todd rips that ball through 2 Tabor defenders, and Bethel maintains possession. Yakubu drives into Holcomb. Holcomb with the block, but it will stay Thresher basketball.
10 seconds on the shot clock here. I'm thinking Bethel's going to shoot a 3. I mean, that's typically what they do in these scenarios, but they also have the lob they can go to or something backdoor in their pocket if they want to go there.
Hoskin with the fadeaway 18-footer is off, and it will be a Bobo with the rebound. So Tabor doing what it can to stay within this game as it stares at another 8-point deficit. But Bethel doing a good job controlling the 3-point line as Tabor has just really not been able to find many lanes offensively. Boba driving into Jalen Todd. think we have a technical foul here on Coach Matt Warren.
And I believe the bench for Tabor the first go-around also got a technical in that scenario. I think, there hasn't been a huge disparity in foul calls. Has there been maybe a lack thereof? You could maybe say that, but the thing is, as long as it's not weighted one way or the other.
I would say maybe just a slight inconsistency on both sides. Sometimes a really physical play goes uncalled, and others maybe not quite so much. So an evenly called game, I'd certainly say. But Coach Warren also doing what he can to keep his players in here, especially as Bethel now has its biggest lead of the game at 10 points.
And sometimes it's just making a point, trying to get that emphasis that, yes, something is happening. Maybe, you don't have the attention that it needs as a travel on Vitova in the short corner.
The Tabor basketball after the Bethel turnover. So we'll see if perhaps Coach Warren's burst of enthusiasm might motivate his players here on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't necessarily seen them do, is play with emotion here.
Yeah, Bethel certainly a little bit more intense on its end, but here Jaden Miller was able to find a gap, but Jared Richardson will pick up his third foul.
Fouls on Bethel's number 10, Jared Richardson. That's his third, team's second.
A good alley-oop play off the inbounds pass as Jack Voth scores off the glass. This is just such a critical stretch for Tabor. Obviously, when you bring in so many new players, it's hard to know exactly where you're finished in the conference standings, but to be in the hunt for the postseason tournament is certainly a big deal, and what a finish from Jaden Miller in transition.
Blue Jays responding the way they want to. I mean, you kind of get to a point to where you have to do something when a team goes up 10 on you.
No, and getting to the rim, which has been by far its best offense in this game, and not for really the most of its season, as three-point shooting has not been its best threat.
Well, and three-point shooting isn't necessarily something you can coach. It's something you recruit.
Yes. It's kind of been a little bit come in stretches for Tabor. I know they shot particularly well from three in North Newton, but been a little fewer and far between. So Aboba reverses the ball quickly. Jaden Miller with the three, unable to connect, and Keon Hoskin with the board. Jared Richardson driving in, and we're going to get a foul on James Aboba.
Yeah, and the home fans, definitely you hear them reacting to that one.
Team's third. Jared Richardson at the line, shooting two.
All I'll say is he's maybe a little bit closer and got a better view of the play than we did. So Jared Richardson hits the first. Carmelo Yakubu back on the floor for Bethel, and Caleb Crane, Kenyon Holcomb checking back in for the Blue Jays. I think you're right, though, Dan. The fatigue really on both sides. I think you're beginning to see it in their faces a little bit, and this next 13 minutes very well might come down to the better conditioned team.
Well, I mean, this is a checkpoint where you bring these guys in off the bench. Typically, every coach has a game plan similar to that, where, you know, however many minutes this guy's going to play, so on and so forth. This guy, you know, can really step up huge for us here. You know, you see sports like football where you can script things out a little bit, or at least try to. Basketball, you know, you got to have a plan for everything. So.
A heck of an effort play by Jaden Miller on the defensive end, and Jack Voth tries to score, and looked like there might have been a little bit of contact, does not get called. Instead, it is Bethel basketball, but an ill-advised pass there from Bethel in the paint.
Yeah, a lot turnovers to start the second half for the Threshers.
James Aboba is able to score from deep and that is now makes it a 7-point Bethel lead. And I think we're going to get a full timeout here, so we will step aside briefly and be back here with the final 12:15.
Eitzen Agency insures churches, Christian schools, and other related ministries. A coverage that is overlooked for most businesses is proper cyber liability. Has your business ever been hacked? Do your employees click on links that they shouldn't? Your business could be shut down and have extreme costs if this happens. Cyber liability can reduce these costs. Give us a call at the Eitzen Agency to discuss this valuable coverage for your business at 580-227-2553 or find us online at eitzenagency.com.
Kind of a key stat right now. Bethel 10 turnovers and Tabor 15. You can do one thing. There's 3 or 4 different options. As Duru drives in and misses the jam.
That's, I think, his second missed dunk. So maybe those 4 points look a little more critical by the end of tonight's game. We shall see. So Crane asking for Boba to cut. Instead is Bethel goes into a zone and it works there as they get the turnover. I think that maybe caught Tabor by surprise a little bit.
Well, that's what Bethel likes to do. They like to get turnovers and fast breaks. And any way they can pick up the pace of the game. Yes, they can play in the half court, but they like to drive to the hoop.
And now it is an 11-point Blue Jay deficit as Bethel now has its biggest lead of the game. So energy significantly higher with another Bethel turnover, and Vitova's not able to score in transition. And there's the Tabor turnover. So not what you want to see out of the timeout if you're a Tabor fan.
No, turned the ball over 3 times in a row.
That zone really threw them for a loop. So.
I mean, you start to see things from teams this time of year. Maybe you haven't done it all year. You're just going to break it out and see if you can get the opponent off guard.
Yakubu drives and scores with the short jumper. So kind of a critical stretch here for the Blue Jays. Obviously, plenty of time to go, but like Dan mentioned, 3 straight Tabor turnovers here as Bethel now leads by 13. Crane within 18-footer of his own. Kenya Holcomb able to grab the rebound. So McClure drives, loses control, but able to retain possession. Holcomb's 3 is off. Yakubu rebound, Bethel basketball.
Well, I think the one thing that Tabor can rely on right now is there's plenty of time left to do something with. 10 minutes left in the ball game. Yes, 13, it can be done.
Certainly can. But probably going to want a few better looks as the last 3 threes have been a few steps behind the 3-point line. So you're going to need to, and some contested threes at that. So
it's going to have to, gut it out and work for each possession.
And Miller fouls Vitova from behind, and he will step to the free throw line.
Basket is good for number 1.
And we've seen a couple games like this, or I have this year, where it'd be a tight game in the first half, and Bethel will come out in the second half around this time and just go on a huge run that would eventually carry them. They did it at Friends this year, but Tabor's got to find a way to respond because Bethel, they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, they've certainly taken control of this game. And they now lead by 16.
Checking in for Bethel, number 15, Nick Barner.
Tabor certainly needs to stay engaged here because crazier deficits have been met than 16 points with 9:40 to go. But it certainly needs to start now to try to eat away at this Bethel momentum that it's built.
Bethel has outscored Tabor by 12, 24-12 here in the second half so far.
So Tabor just at the three-point line almost every possession. But Crane able to grab the rebound off his own miss. Second shot also off, and Jared Richardson will push quickly and find Harper Jonas in the corner, who thought he was going to shoot it, does not, and there's Jalen Todd at the rim to score. So,
and it's not like Bethel is exhausting them. It's just Tabor's getting exhausted going up against the defense trying to score.
Well, and quite a few three-point attempts and a few turnovers have certainly hurt them. Miller drives and scores to break this Bethel scoring run. So see if the freshman might be a driving force here as Tabor looks to find anything to get going again. A pretty big dry spell there, but still not too late. We'll see what maybe can do defensively, because Bethel also has been getting a few too many high percentage looks. Hemrick grabs the rebound after the rare Nick Bonner miss.
Yeah, in that stretch, Tabor went 5 minutes of game clock without scoring.
And Bethel took full advantage. So a huge pass across the court, and that will go out of bounds. So
I've never seen one of those be good. Let's just say that.
For anybody. So an ill-advised pass here, as it will be Bethel basketball once again.
And we've seen games like this year for people that have watched Bethel play, where they've had leads like this and other teams have come back in. They did against Kansas Wesleyan, it was a thing. York, it was a thing.
Because they led Kansas Wesleyan by about 10, pretty late.
Well, yeah, it was like 15 or so. And Kansas Wesleyan fought their way back in and won the game. It's really about how you finish here.
That was a deep three from 15. And it is now a 19-point Bethel lead.
Nick Bonner with 3 threes in the second half here.
Yeah, none in the first half, but he has caught fire here in the early goings of the second half. I say early goings, we only have 7 minutes left. So both drives, I think we're going to get Harper Jonas with the foul.
And Tabor fans are thinking, finally.
Well, I think first half you saw them playing into their strengths a little bit more, of getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line. And over the last 5-6 minutes of game action, it has been either 18-footer or beyond, or a few costly turnovers as well. So see if Jack Voth can capitalize at the free throw line. As Kenyon Holcomb checks back in, as well as Creelan Avery, sending Thatcher McClure and Jaden Miller to the bench.
Kind of interesting in Nebraska tonight. York and Oklahoma Wesleyan, 88-86 Eagles in that one. That was a close one.
Oh, over or still going?
They won.
They won, okay.
Wesleyan. Yeah, there's an interesting game. Evangel up 10 right now against Bethany. We'll get some more in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break, and after this full timeout.
Don't let flashy ads and short-term specials with fine print entice you into hidden charges and slower speeds for your broadband. Work seamlessly, stream continuously, and game uninterrupted. TCW is the only provider that offers Hillsboro the reliability of an underground fiber connection to your home or business. Switch today to experience the best with TCW Fiber Internet.
Hillsboro Ford is your local, family-owned and operated full-service Ford dealer, serving Marion County and the surrounding areas. Come and see us at Hillsboro Ford for all of your automotive needs. Whether it's purchasing a new or used vehicle or visiting our well-trusted service department, our staff is committed to give you a top-notch experience. We service every make and model and can handle all service jobs, including tires. We're at 202 South Main Street in downtown Hillsboro and online at hillsborofordks.net. Hillsboro Ford, where service...
Back here from Hillsboro, as Coach Warren imploring his players to say, now is the time. And a few hands on the hips, certainly not to say they're not into it, but just it's been a fast-paced second half.
Yeah, it really has. They find themselves in a pretty big hole here.
I'd say if Tabor can bring it back to about 10 or 11 here by about the 4-minute mark, 3-4 minute mark, then you think you kind of have, you're within striking distance.
Yeah, and you can't really wait.
No, you can't either.
You got to get after it.
And especially capitalizing on these empty possessions here from Bethel after the Thresher travels. So I'd say they can find a little bit of a scoring run of its own. And Coach Warren rotating bodies rapidly also.
You know, they're trying to get shots in the paint like that. They just can't get them off cleanly. Meanwhile, Bethel just making it look easy on the other end.
They are. And scoring in transition quite often as well. Both with a deep three. Does not connect. Yakubu with the rebound.
And Bethel's at the point now where they're just going to extend possessions.
Well, and you almost get the sense, especially coming off of, 3 straight losses, that they've kind of been waiting for this stretch a little bit and trying to kind of right its season here going into a pretty critical late stretch.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at some things, they probably should have won the game against Ottawa at home. At St. Mary, I mean, who could have forecasted St. Mary turning it on right now? I mean, they're leading Kansas Wesleyan right now, this very minute, by 11.
Is that game in Leavenworth?
Yes, with 4 minutes to go.
Man.
So, it's just, you can never forecast things in this conference. Somebody's going to step up one night. It's kind of like the NBA, But yes, longevity is the name of the game, and do you have the depth and the defense more than anything?
And sometimes it's not game to game, it's half to half, as we've seen a dramatically different second half here. After it was just a 4-point Bethel lead, Tabor still just at 16 points here in the second half, as they now trail by 22 with 5.5 minutes remaining. Nick Bonner is on fire.
His 4th 3 of the game all in the second half, and like you said earlier, he's one of the best in the conference.
I mean, shooting almost 48% from three-point range in conference play is a pretty absurd clip for anybody. Only Southwestern's Justin DeMaria ahead of him. Another Tabor turnover here as Bethel will take over.
And DeMaria, he comes off the bench for Southwestern as well, and he kind of, like, whenever Kevin Clark needs a breather, he comes in, and it's not, they don't miss when that rotation happens.
Well, I'm pulling up my stats here. If you look at three-point attempts, whoops, wrong tab here. I think he's one of only 3 players. I take that back. Jaden Hibbett is actually in first, but DeMaria, 148 three-point attempts, and player just behind him with 55. So he puts them up regularly.
Carmelo Yakubu here called for an offensive foul.
And it will
might have been a little
basketball.
That's his second.
I mean, it's kind of at the point to where, when you make a mistake like that, it's kind of in vain at this point.
Yeah.
Late in the game, up 25 points. This game has just kind of gotten out of hand, to say the least. Yeah.
And the hands of Jalen Richardson able to steal it from Jack Voth. And there's Harper Jonas wide open from top of the key, unable to score. Rebound to Jaden Miller.
It was 24-12 this half. So far it's 37-16 now.
Not ideal. So, well, and 2, just looking at three-point shooting, Bethel, 3 of 7 in the first half. Now 5 of 12. So thought it would be a little bit higher clip than that, but the three-point line been its friend, especially with Nick Bonner catching fire here in the second half. Avery's three-point attempt is short. Rebound to Harper Jonas.
And this just turns into a, score if you need to.
Yeah.
For Bethel. But if you're Tabor, it's just, trying to make it look better.
For sure. For sure. So not the finish we wanted here in the second half in Hillsboro, but Tabor will need to regroup rather quickly here, as it's probably a little too late now, is still looking at a 21-point deficit as we hit the 3-minute mark.
Bethel's going to empty up their bench.
You may help me out here with the Bethel players checking in.
I'll give it for you. Levi Wiseman, as well as Braden Schilling from Heston, Marcus Labonde coming into the game, and Carter Reed.
In for the Blue Jays as we speak, Jaden Miller, Thatcher McClure, Creelan Avery, James Aboba, and Zach Hebert. Hebert getting his first action here within the last 2 minutes. For the Blue Jays, it is primarily at home here over the final stretch, but a difficult stretch to say the least, with friends coming up, senior night on Saturday as the Falcons come to town, and then Kansas Wesleyan will pay a visit on a week from tonight. So 2 more home games upcoming for the Blue Jays, with senior night on Saturday, as Tabor will recognize Cade Henler, James Aboba, and Leon Sissamu. And then the Blue Jays will conclude the regular season at McPherson.
Meanwhile, Bethel's got 2 more road games and then their final regular season game at home against Sterling Senior Day. But they go to York on Saturday, next Wednesday at Avila.
So that is a 3 from Eli Wiseman, as Bethel takes further control of this game.
Comes in and scores a quick 5 for him.
That was quick, certainly. So Tabor just unable to match Bethel's production offensively. See here, 17 of 29 in the first half now, 15 of 30. So they're shooting an even 50% here in the second half, after shooting, kind of surprisingly, shooting a not quite as good of a clip here in the second half, given how much more it feels like they've produced. Perhaps it's just that they've been so good from the three-point line, it seems like it's been greater production.
Yeah, I mean, you're making 12 more shots than the other team right now from the field. It doesn't really matter what your turnover margin is or anything like that, because Bethel's turned it over, 14 times. Tabor's 12, but really hasn't been a factor in this one.
Well, they kept their offense going in the paint, and they've matched it with just dynamite three-point shooting here over the home stretch. So Leon Sissamut will see the floor for the last 2 minutes. Also,
checking in for the Blue Jays, number 33, Creighton Kukula.
Freshman Creighton Kukula, a Berean Academy Warrior.
Always like it when you have a little local flavor to these things.
Oh, for sure, and there's plenty between these 2 rosters.
Mentioned Eli Wiseman, he played at Belle Plaine. Comes in and scores a quick 8.
Yeah. Just about like everybody else in a black Bethel uniform here in the second half. So Hebert guarded by Wiseman, the most recent hot shooter from Bethel. Sissamut's shot is off. Rebound by Marcus Labonde.
And at this point, it's about getting in the stat sheet for these guys.
Well, and kind of like I was saying, it's been Bethel's probably been looking for this run here over the last 3 games, and they seem to have found it.
Carter Reed pulling an old Kirk Heinrich move.
A disappointing end for the Blue Jays after they trailed by just 4 at halftime, but Bethel here has exploded, leading with a 47-22 second half.
Getting a little chippy inside there. As Eli Wiseman got sent to the floor. Not quite sure what was going on.
Offensive foul.
We're going to get
number 23, Leon Sissamu.
just an offensive foul. So
Team 7.
Probably a little frustration, as I can only imagine.
I'm sure Jason Ortez will call him off. Maybe not. I would have thought he would.
They're using about every second they can here in this second half. Creighton Kukula getting on the board for the Blue Jays. So Bethel will improve to 12-13 overall and 9-10 in conference play. Tabor will fall to 10-15. 10-15 and 7-12 in conference play. So the final 20 seconds here. Want to make sure to say again, please, we hope you can join us on senior night on Saturday night as Tabor will welcome the visiting Friends Falcons. So
should be a good game for them.
We'll look to get back in the win column after a disappointing finish here in this one. So final score, Bethel wins this one 90-62. A final look at the stat sheet for the, excuse me, my computer freezing here.
Bethel outscoring Tabor 50-26 in the second half. That's crazy.
About everything that could go right did go right. So for the Blue Jays, Jack Voth held to just 4 points after 13 in the first half. Jaden Miller with 15, Crane with 9, 4 Threshers in double figures with Yakubu with 17, Bonner with 14, Hoskin with 12, and Eli Wiseman with 11, all within the last 5 minutes. So was a pretty impressive display there from the Bell playing guard. So disappointing game. Tabor, though, it's certainly not over, as they will look to stay within the hunt for the 8th seed in the conference tournament with 3 more games left to play. So we appreciate you guys joining us for what is always fun when these two teams match up. We hoped for a closer result, but we will see what next time holds, wherever it might be, Hillsborough, North Newton, when these two teams match up again in 2024-2025. Dan, we appreciate you joining us as we sign off for one final time.
Yeah, thanks for the offer again. I haven't done this for a road game. I usually shoot video from road games, but always fun to talk, even when I'm not feeling my best. But hey, I enjoy doing this with you, Adam.
I appreciate you making the trip. So one last time, 90-62 Bethel signing off. We'll see. Have a good night, everybody.
Marzacek is exceptional at his vertical defending. Kicks that one off and Marzacek is exceptional at his vertical defending. He kicks that one off and